Hello there, and welcome to Women's Business.
My name is Dr. Marianne Shallcross Smith, known to most as Dr. Daycare, and this is my co-host, Amy Vogel. We'd like to welcome you to our mentoring program designed to educate our community on issues facing working women. We will be speaking to our guests in the areas art, sciences, health, education, law, medicine, politics, community service, military, and business.
The goal of the show is to provide information that comes only from personal experience and to pass this information down to our daughters, nieces, neighbors, family, and friends. Much of the content will relate to the guest speaker's journey in their profession, what they have learned most about this process, and what they wished they had known before this journey began. Since women-owned businesses are the fastest growing sector of our economy, my guests will close with what lesson they would like to pass on to the viewing audience.
Thank you for joining us on Women's Business. We are honored to welcome Christine Sullivan from the Pataki Foundation. Thank you for joining us on Women's Business today, Christine.
Thank you for having me
you're
here.
Very welcome. Between all the things that go on in Pataki, Rhode Island, we see each other a lot of
We
events.
do.
You gotta love Pataki. They got everything going on, don't they?
They really do.
It's a great city.
There's so much that is on the cusp of happening in Pawtucket. It's a very exciting time. And my favorite thing about Pawtucket, though, is walking Pawtucket. You know, people are challenged when they drive through the city because we have so many one-way streets that we are working on. But it is a challenge. And when you get people out of their cars and they actually walk the city, I've never not got the response, wow, this is really beautiful.
It's a beautiful city.
The river runs right through it.
Yes, it does.
Well, I'm going to go way back for 1 minute. 9 years old, and this just goes to show you how life has changed. Living in Lincoln, Rhode Island, Salesville, and me and my friend Kathy Bishop and probably Marilyn Shorten would get our little pocketbooks, and we would walk straight down Dexter Street, right into the city. Shop at Woolworths. We thought we were pretty cool. We could go to Peerless, you know what I mean, for the day. Go up and down that city like we were in New York City, like, oh my God, and then walk all the way home with our bags full to go back to school shopping.
Yeah,
it
it's
was
amazing.
a great city, especially if it was so safe. It was so wonderful. You go in, you have that 10-cent hot dog at the Woolworths type of thing at the counter.
At the luncheonette counter,
Yes, I mean, and the salespeople would help you buy the things that you needed. And a lot of great memories, Wow. Pawtucket, we love you. So tell us a little bit about how you got from here to there, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
there to here, I
mean,
should say.
so I'm Director of Development for the Pataki Foundation, and I went to college for education. Actually, I have a degree in special education. I only used it for substituting. I did long-term subbing. When I first got out of college, I'd take sub-jobs for 6 months or a year until I had children. And then I had the luxury of staying at a stay-home mom. And my children, I have 4.
You have 4 children? I did not know
I
that.
do. I have 4 children. I have 2 grandchildren. So it's like recycling it again. But when my youngest 2 children were at school, they were at the same school, and I started getting into not just the PTO type meetings, but really doing some more active fundraising for the schools, and I really enjoyed it. And then I got divorced and really wanted to go back and have a career. My children were in elementary and preschool, elementary and middle school at that time. And it was good timing for me because no one was home all day.
Yeah, it did change, yes.
I had time to do something part-time, and I started doing development for a organization up in the Boston area. I then became executive director of that organization. And when I left there, I took some time, I did some traveling, and really thought about what my next step was going to be. And it was on a flight home from South Africa that I decided that I really wanted to stay in the true development. I didn't want to be an executive director anymore. I wanted to be able to make a difference for an organization and really do that level of fundraising that so many non-for-profits need. So the Pataki Foundation was looking for this position. It was new to the foundation. They didn't have somebody in this position. And it was a good fit for me. I fit in well. I have memories of Pawtucket from when I was younger. My family has always been in the Pawtucket area with business, and it was just a really good fit. So I jumped at the chance, and that was going on 4 years ago. So it's I love it.
That's awesome.
I love it. I've got to meet a lot of really wonderful people that make a huge difference for the city. It really it takes a lot of people to move things forward.
And now you're the face of it. You know, we say Pawtucket Development, we did foundation, we just think of you.
Oh, thank you.
It's amazing. No, really. So you're really getting out there and meeting people and really giving it like a marketing piece.
It's part of really, I think, what every development person does.
Yes.
You know, they really do become
it's a big piece of it.
part of the face of the organization. When you're asking people to support a cause, a mission, an organization, they really need to know that they can trust you with their donations. It's a huge part of it.
We went to a fundraiser in is it May, June?
In March.
In March.
In March, we do our.
It was great.
Thank you.
It was a very nice fundraiser.
Thank you. Yeah, we do our big annual award celebration in the spring of every year, and we traditionally honor 3 different people in the Pawtucket area. And we get we look for about 400 people at this event, and it's 400 business.
Yes.
People love it because they say it's the best networking.
A great networking
night of
Northern Rhode
If
Island.
you're
Really?
trying to see someone, they are there that night.
Yes.
So if
yes.
they've been avoiding you, there's some more avoiding.
Yes, we actually had somebody that we were pursuing to become a new member of the Pataki Foundation, and we invited them to that event, and they came up to me afterwards and said, yes. Absolutely,
awesome.
because I got to have 2 meetings tonight over a cocktail that I had scheduled for next week.
Yep.
And now I can do something else next week.
Now you freed up 6 hours for personal
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
Because let's be honest, our meeting always turns into a 2-hour meeting.
Yes. Yeah. So
No,
it
it's a
was
very professional fundraiser. Really wonderful night, yes.
Thank you.
So what is, as development, what is the main mission of Pataki Foundation? What do they want to do for Pawtucket?
Well, we want to move the city forward in economic development. Absolutely.
wow.
And what has happened in the last 4 years since you've been there that has gotten you there?
Small things. When I first came to the foundation, they were just wrapping up the I-95 bridge.
Yeah.
And then the other smaller bridge, Conant Street Bridge, is that, do I have the right one?
I think I know which one you're talking about,
I'm
yeah.
sure you're correct.
There was another little bridge that went over
I
the
have
railroad
I
tracks.
did not go direction at all.
Yeah, the other big thing that's current is the train station.
I'm like, is she going to talk about the train station?
Yes.
That is so cool.
It really is. And
Wow.
that's taken a lot of people a lot of years moving this forward. And we've joined forces with a lot of different organizations and people to make that happen. But we have a guarantee that by 2020 we will have our train in Pawtucket.
Really?
Wow.
Where will it stand?
So it's going to be at the end of Pine Street. Do you know where Armando's Meat Market is? It's right across from Armando's. So it will sit in between Pawtucket and Central Falls.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I know what you're speaking of.
Okay.
I'm not very good with
Yeah,
that.
it's at the end of Pine Street, and it
So this
fits
was
right in
part
there.
of the
It will go from Boston to Providence.
Oh, wow.
Pawtucket will be a stop, which
That's great.
opens up
Opens up
a
a lot.
tremendous amount of
Yes.
possibilities.
Especially if someone doesn't have a car, now they can walk to the train.
They can walk to the train. It's definitely a neighborhood type train stop.
That's
You know, it's
great.
not a big mega station, but it's accessible to both Central Falls and Pawtucket.
That's awesome.
It will open up jobs for people in Pawtucket and Central Falls to Boston,
To Boston, yeah.
That's great.
Providence. It will open up housing opportunity for people in
wow.
Boston down in this area. Because
More
Pawtucket
affordable.
really does have some beautiful on the river.
Yeah, the mills.
The mills, the mills are great. We have many more mills that have opportunity to be rehabbed and be made into living spaces.
Which mill lofts tell you, like the
Yeah.
thing to have.
It is the thing to have, and Boston is so expensive. Providence really expensive. So to have that commute, I live in the Boston area. I commute to Pawtucket every day, and I can get to Pawtucket quicker than I can get to Boston.
Oh yes, 100%. You're
So
going right across against the traffic.
yeah, I do, and it's great, and it's my thinking time. So
No, that's great, honestly, because there's so many mills. Even where we grew up in Salesville,
yep,
the mills, and it's nice that they're rehabbing them, because if not, you go so many places in this country. My husband and I took a road trip this summer, and you go through these, you could tell at one time, beautiful towns where the mills have just
disappeared.
There's no more work, so they didn't rehab them, they did nothing with them, and they're just infested with. So it's wonderful that something's going to happen to them, because it's great architecture that this should be used.
It is beautiful architecture, and that's part of when I walk people through Pawtucket. You know, we have some beautiful buildings,
It's all history.
and it's that historic, and it's just tree lined. It is really pretty.
So that's wonderful.
So question, is there a course out there that you could to ask people for money?
Yeah, because I'm bad at that.
No, there
I'm not
isn't.
good at
There-
developing.
Even the woman that was on before you, she's so gracefully with a smile talks about how she does that. That's amazing.
yeah, no, I don't think there's a course. in
Okay,
it.
so I get, there's no course I can take type of thing.
I
I'm
think
usually
it's
giving
just-
at the other end, but I always wondered.
I'm
that's,
sure, Marion, that you have that skill set in you.
I'm
Um,
sure I do. I just have,
She has it more than
I have a
do,
different
so.
marketing thing. Okay.
I think it's really believing in
Believing,
it's
yeah.
believing in your mission. It's believing in what you can accomplish with that money, and letting the people that you know that you're asking that you're going to do this.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And keep people informed that it did happen.
Yes.
So they make that investment. They
Yes,
know they made it, and
absolutely.
it's definitely been
Communication is a huge part,
huge piece of it,
and I heard in your last segment, you know, there's many different levels we communicate, and different people have different styles of communicating. And we try to incorporate all of those. You know, so we now have an online presence. We do Facebook presence, but I still make phone calls and write letters.
Well, it makes a difference, honestly, because someone's going to get that mail, and it's personalized to them.
Yes.
So they feel like, oh, they took time to actually acknowledge me. Because it's
Right.
easier to send out mass emails. Like, you can blind copy everyone, so you don't know if you were the only one on it or
Right.
10,000 people are on it. So
Yeah.
I actually got a phone call Friday from someone who was having a fundraiser, and the woman picked up the phone and called to me, and she's like, Mira, and I already sent you a mailing. And I'm like, you know, I'll be honest with you. My desk is like
A pile.
and honest to God, but I will go through there and I will pull out, and it made a difference. I already have it on my marketing director's desk. So a phone call is still important.
Yes.
People aren't really trying to like ignore you or not deal with you. It's just that there's so much coming toward businesses every single
Yeah, I
day.
think
There
that's-
really
Yeah,
are.
There really is.
There,
Oh,
there really
gosh.
are, and
Yeah.
you know, and that's why you have to be cognizant of people's style of communication.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there are people that I've called up and they'll say, you know, look, I got it. Could you send me an email?
Yep,
Because
yep.
if you don't send me the email,
forget.
I'll forget.
I'm just going to forget, and I'm not being rude. I just don't have time to
Yes.
chat today.
Exactly. No, it's like it's not a rejection, I think, from
No,
people,
it's not.
As much as it's just
step
you're
forward.
inundated with information, whether it's from the internet, newspapers, mailings, emails,
Yeah.
text messages. It's like so much is coming at you that if there's not a second reach out,
Right.
it's gone out of my brain.
It's
Right.
It used to be mail or phone call. That was
Yes.
it. And then the last, 8 to 10 years, it can come in anyway.
Anyway.
Facebook, it can come through email, as you said, text messages, mailings.
Yep.
So the people on the other end of it, I feel bad because it's a lot more to track.
There is a lot more to track.
I'm talking people who are putting on these events because we have done it with our nonprofit too. It's a lot of work.
It is
and once
a
you make
lot
that
of work.
phone call, it's like, I'm so sorry. Like they're saying the same thing. It was on my desk. It just gets lost in. So the phone call, let's 3 cheers for the phone. It does
She's
work.
a big voicemail person.
I'm a
so.
very big voicemail person.
I remember that.
I want
She
people.
loves a voicemail.
I want people to know my voice.
And
Like
she likes
I'm.
to leave them for like 5 minutes. I think I got it.
It's a counselor. I have a master's in counseling, and they always tell me you should repeat
Oh,
things.
she
I'm
does.
like,
At least 5
repeat.
times to the normal
Oh,
mind, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got it. Did you hear it this way? Did you hear it that way? You got to hear it this way. Everybody hears it different. Amy's like, we got the message.
I got it on the first time.
But it's the bottom line. It's hard work. It really is
It
hard
really
work.
is.
It's
It
it's
is.
And you have to have
major
patience.
dedication.
You do.
You have to have a lot of patience.
You do.
That's probably why I'm not good. Like, forget, I'm done.
I give up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, is there anyone back in your life that was someone who was significant to where you are in business today?
I don't really think so. I
Okay.
was thinking about that a bit. I don't think so. I think my drive comes from pushing my children to have one.
That's cool. That's the first time I ever
you know,
heard that.
and
That's
saying to
amazing.
them, I really want you to go do this. I want you to experience it, and then having to step up to, own what you say.
Cool. Wow.
Yeah,
That's-
definitely.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think so.
Now you have boys and girls.
I have 3 boys and 1 daughter.
So the same message to the 4.
Yes, it was
Okay,
the
all
same
right.
message to the 4.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah,
Never heard it quite said that way, but yeah,
yeah.
you want to teach your children and put that message out there.
You have to show them
gotta
that
do-
you're willing to take those risks, and
Yeah.
it's great because my youngest is still living at home, and my daughter am probably very close to and talking about things like this, but I'll come home with a struggle, an issue, and say, oh, I can't believe this happened today. And for them to see me working through something like
Yeah.
that, I think there's great value there.
A lot of value there.
Yeah, it's not like I have all the answers all the time because Lord knows I don't.
You
but,
cannot get that in a college. You can't get that in a college course to actually see
No,
people
no.
work that whole process from here to there.
Yeah,
It's a huge learning experience. Absolutely.
yeah, that's true. My youngest son went to Babson, and when he started going, I joined. They have a Babson Coaching for Leadership program.
Oh, wow.
And so I give time to that at least once, try to do it twice a year, but it's a 4-hour block of time minimum. And every student at Babson does this several times during their career. So they bring in, there's many hundreds of us that do this, but we sit as a team. And then like 8 students sit as a team. And we present them questions, and they work through a process of a problem. And then we reconvene and evaluate the students, and then we meet with them one-on-one to
that's
give them
great.
feedback.
Wow.
Which is
amazing.
great because it's that, how did I interact working as a team? How did I show any leadership skills? Did I handle myself correctly? Is there a way that I should be speaking up more? So they really get that one-on-one, and I wish there were more programs like
Great
that
program.
for students, or even people who aren't students, people who are just out there trying to find a job.
Yes.
And I think
That would be
you
such
as
a great
leaders
thing.
watching these students are probably getting so much from them.
Oh, we are. It's amazing the things they come up with.
Because it's just, they're new to it and they're learning so much. It's kind of, it's
Yeah.
like a lesson both ways.
Yep, it's really great because I've had the freshmen, and I've also had the upperclassmen, and the difference, the
Really?
growth between,
3
it's
years,
just,
4
it's the little things that you might miss with your own children, but when you see it in a mass, it's like right in front of you, and you can't ignore it.
Great idea Babson has there. That's fantastic.
It really is a
Especially
great
bringing
idea.
the business public in. Wow, and working with their students.
Well, I think
yeah.
so much, like in college, undergrad it's all theory of a lot, you know, a lot of it's practical, but most of it's book knowledge. Then I went for my master's. Most of my professors from my MBA were actual people doing a job.
Yes,
Which helped because it brings in the real life experience.
it does.
Because I can read about accounting and I can do it, but it's like, now I understand where they were coming from. You have 10 different things coming at you at once, and it's how do you prioritize that to say, okay, even though this person came to me third, that's a priority over 1 and 2.
Exactly.
And that to me is a skill you can't learn in school. It's something you just have to experience.
It's a life skill,
Life skill,
absolutely.
yeah.
It's a life skill.
But having people there in the leadership probably gives those students is a peek into that skill.
It really does.
Because you just don't get it until you're there, and you're like, oh gosh.
Or at least a peek into the process of
Yeah.
the feedback we give to them. Yeah, absolutely.
So how do you balance it all? Grandmother, mom, businesswoman, big title for the
I don't
Pataki
know.
Foundation.
It kind of
woman's
all
business. You're
flows
busy.
together, really.
It flows for you too.
It flows together. My children have always been very involved in what I do. I try to be involved in what they do. So, you know, you jump in and you do things together constantly. We're fortunate that everyone lives within, you know, an hour of each other. That
Very
makes a huge difference.
Especially today.
Yes.
I know many people that they're from New England, they moved to California for whatever job. It's like the
Yeah.
whole country between families.
Yep. Between so I have 2 older boys, my daughter, and then my youngest son. Between the last 2, there's a span of 7 years. So when I was dropping, when my oldest son was getting ready to graduate from high school, he's going, wait a minute, you want me to come home from college and babysit? I'm like, yeah. Yeah. So
You
I mean,
got that message, yeah.
everyone has always been really good about being a family unit.
That's important.
And it's been
Working
tremendously
together.
helpful, whether it's me or whether it's one of them on a project and something they're working on. Siblings usually jump in just because, hey, this is something new, this is something fun, you know, let's do it.
It's important to have that support,
It is.
you know.
It is, and everybody needs support, whether it's from family or friends, and you usually need it from quite a few different sources, quite actually, to
Over
get
the
things
weekend,
accomplished.
Amy left a magazine at my house. It's Time magazine, all about siblings. I've read it from cover to cover. And it said siblings are an amazing group of human beings because they were all there together from the beginning.
Yeah.
Probably the only people you'll actually get to see through your whole lifespan.
That's true.
And they said they have an extremely unbelievable connection with each other that goes through all types of economics, life, love. It's interesting. As much as it's significant with the parents, they put this in Time magazine that the significance
Wow.
as it
Wow.
relates to siblings and how they all jump in and help each other and
Yeah.
they all understand each other.
And as a parents, it's great to see
oh,
that.
you love it, absolutely.
You know, you
It's
feel like you've
fantastic.
done a good job. Yeah, all those fights, all those things they don't
That's
get
right.
along
That's
with.
exactly what I was going to say. And it said a normal family, ready for this? I got this number in my head. The sibling will have fight 67% of the day.
I think Keith and I lived up to that.
I think you did. Like, and that will all level out in their adulthood.
We're
and
doing
that,
much better now.
Yeah, and that,
And
it's
yeah, it's better. I think the fighting is more subtle, if you
Subtle,
will.
yes,
We're
yeah.
disagreeing now,
Yeah,
rather than fighting.
exactly.
Yeah.
so any of those families, your kids aren't fighting, you got a problem. Not really.
It's true though. It just happens. It's a natural.
It is natural.
sibling.
It is
Who is
natural.
on your helping you out at the Pataki Foundation? And you have other people who work with you?
We have an executive director
Okay.
who's full-time, and we have another employee who does our marketing and our techs and
Oh,
all our
fabulous.
graphic stuff, but she's only part-time. She's minimal part-time, so
Mm-hmm.
maybe a quarter of a person. So we're a very small staff.
You do a lot. Then. You
We're
really
very
do a
small
lot,
staff.
yeah.
Well, you guys are doing very well for not having that many.
Thank you.
I would assume
Thank
they
you.
had-
It's
yeah.
kind of a lifestyle, you know. The people that are on our board are a tremendous help. Our contributors, our members. Again, it's that kind of community, and we all go to a zillion different functions, fundraising events, and we see the same people there. And those are really the people who are out there making a difference for this area.
That's great. And it's wonderful to see Pawtucket on the up and up.
Yes, it is.
know,
Yes, I
very
think
good
Pawtucket has a great, next couple of years coming up. It'll be a very exciting time to be in Pawtucket.
2020 is like tomorrow.
I know it is.
I'm already writing 2017. Like when I'm like, it's.
Oh, Amy.
My
Oh.
husband's like, honey, it's still 2016. I go, oh, in my mind, it's 2017. I'm on to the next thing.
Yeah.
In all your years of business, is there anything you could change? Would there be something that you would make a change?
In
All your years of business.
probably to be more out there and not as intimidated early on. If I
get
could
that.
have find a way to have a stronger voice earlier in my
get
life,
that.
I think that would have been helpful.
I could just have been our generation, though, too.
It
really-
is.
yeah,
It
it
is.
really
And a
is.
lot of it you get from that rite of passage with age.
Age, yeah.
And experience,
Yeah,
and just
wisdom,
saying,
yeah.
hey, you know, I know things need to be this way to make a difference, and that's what we're going to do.
And I'm going to say it, correct?
Yes.
That's a good feeling,
Yeah.
yeah. Absolutely.
Well, we only have a minute left of the show. If other than the confidence that you've gone through, is there any other life lesson you would tell the listening audience?
To follow their passion. I think that's a really important message to anybody who's out there. To find something that excites you and that makes you feel like you're making a difference, and go forward with it. Do the best you can, and ask questions and look for answers continually. We never know everything, and you constantly have to learn things.
Completely true.
And keep people in your life that can help you find that.
Surround yourself with good people.
Surround yourself with good people
exactly.
and great resources.
Exactly.
Christine, thank you very much for being a woman's business.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting
Lucky
me. It was
Pataki
great
Foundation.
talking to both of you.
Fantastic. Yeah.
And we wish all the future success of Pataki Foundation.
Thank you.
And I'm excited for 2020.
Yes, we are too.
Thank you.